There we go. There. Okay. So what we're going to be doing today is reviewing our F scales and listening to my cat paw at the door. And the other things we're going to be doing is going through the level 1.5 of Somewhere Over the Rainbow, as well as level 2. And keep in mind with the level 2, there's all those extra bits to add to it, and you can decide what you want to do and how far you want to go with it. So if you're new to the session, if you're like, I haven't done this before, look on my website, and you'll get under, hang on here, tinasmusic.ca. And if you look under Sunday Ukulele, you'll find the information there and links to the other videos and whatnot. Hey, all right, so let's start off with some delightful scales. So we're going to play the F scale, and keeping in this version just 2 notes on the second string, everything else on the first. And then in this one, we're going to the 5th position early. Do you guys remember me talking about positions last week? Maybe not. Yeah, where your first finger is anchored is really what that means. Not totally anchored, but kind of there, right? Okay, so let's hit that F scale. Now, my camera is lined up more on that than my hand, but I'll tell you right now, I'm just going to use my thumb to play the scale, okay? So here we go. 1st fret, 2nd string. I'll do 2 plucks per. And then the 3rd fret on that 2nd string. Now we're going to the 1st string open. And now the 1st fret. 3rd fret. A position change up to the 5th fret is what I'm going to do there. Okay, and then 7th fret. 8th fret. Look how my fingers are lined up there, hey? That's so nice. Okay, now let's go back down to the 7th fret. 5th fret. 3rd fret. 1st fret. Open. Now we transfer over to the 2nd string, 3rd fret. 1st fret. Last week, I talked with you guys about challenging yourself with different finger picking patterns, right? So that was my thumb. Now what I'm going to do is I'm going to work my bunny ear fingers, and let's give everyone a chance to do that. Like, hey, you know what? Hold up your fingers and show me what you're going to use for picking 2 notes. So it's going to be like 1, 1, 3, 3. I'm going to use my bunny ears. What's everyone else going to use? Just yeah, bunny ears, bunny ears. Oh, thumb and pointer finger, bunny ears. Okay, oh nice. Yeah, okay. Now you've made a public commitment to use that fingering because I saw what you said you were going to use. All right, so I'm going to work my bunny ears. I'm going to stand up as proof that I'm doing this too. All right, so here we go on the 1. Now keep in mind, my hand position might be a little bit wonky because I'm going to hold my ukulele as well as pick with it, but here we go. So 2 beats per. 1, 2. Okay, and now 3rd fret. 1st string open. 1st fret on that string. 3rd fret. 5th fret. 7th fret. 8th fret. 7th fret. 5th fret. 3rd fret. 1st fret. Open. Down to the 2nd string. And 1st fret. Anytime I'm doing these scales, and if you say to yourself, oh, okay, I want to go faster, I want to do more notes, go for it. Working a tremolando scale where you're repeating the notes more is always good for building finger strength. So do that. Or if you say to yourself, okay, she's moving a little too fast, then type it in the chat. Or just, unmute yourself and say, hey, can we play it a little slower? I'm down for that. I'm also trying to keep an eye on the live stream. So just so you guys know, anyone who's watching the live stream, I'm watching the chat there too. I'm watching 2 chats, and I can do it because I've had a lot of coffee already, so I'm good to go. All right, now we're going to play this version of the F scale. So mostly on the 2nd string, and then hopping over. Okay. Now, do whatever. Yeah, Mary?
Say,
I have to ask you to unmute yourself, Mary. Mary, can you unmute yourself?
oh,
Yeah.
shouldn't that, it should be 13023, because that one, isn't that A sharp, B flat?
Mary, that's excellent. So in the F major scale, it actually uses a B flat there. So
Oh, it
that's,
does.
yeah,
Oh,
yeah, that's awesome. Okay, you know what? Let's talk about that right now. I love questions and observations. I love it. Okay, so the F major scale, what I'm going to do is actually just write down here, I'm going to write down the names of the notes of the F major scale because it looks so much like the C major scale, right? But the F major scale uses F, G, A, and then B flat instead of B. And so that's that guy there. So people get very, very used to playing 2nd fret on their 1st string because we do so much in the key of C, right? We just do, right? F, G, A, B flat. And then our next note is a C, D, E. And look, it gets less tidy as I move along the whiteboard. Hey, started off nice and neat and just so those are the notes of a 1 octave F major scale. And something that you could do to extend the F scale practicing would be to play the 1 chord, the 4 chord, and the 5 chord in the key of F. I know that B flat is not a good friend to people sometimes. But if you're comfortable with the scales, then play the scales and then play the chords afterwards if you feel like it. It can be really good just to tune your ear into that. All right, let's hit this bad boy again. Okay. And yeah, 2 notes per again. And this time I'm going to use my thumb and my pointer finger is what I'm going to do. So I'm going to go back and forth like that. But let's do 4 instead of 2, let's do 4. Okay, so we get a little bit more time. Here we go. On the 2nd string, 1st fret. 1, 2, 3, 4. So fret 1. Okay, now fret 3. Fret 5. Fret 6. Fret 8. Now I'm going over to my 1st string, fret 5. Fret 7. Fret 8. Let's go back down to fret 7. Fret 5. Transferring over to string 2, fret 8. Fret 6. Fret 5. Going down to fret 3. And then fret 1. I'm going to be all fancy now. I'm going to strum my F chord. Everybody, if you're ready, strum your F chord. Oh, sounds so pretty. Run your thumb straight down. B flat, if you're comfortable doing it, whatever version of B flat you like. Oh, so nice. Okay, now I'm going to hit the C. You could do a C7 if you want. I just did a regular C. Then back to F. So nice to do that. I love scales. It's, you know what? No, it's kind of a love-hate relationship. Sometimes I think, oh, I get bored of them, and then I think, hey, you know what? They're pretty fun. So I usually give people ideas about how they can practice these scales and make it so that it's not so, um, not just so up and down, back and forth with the scales, but give you different things to do, right? Now, I know I've talked before about the C major scale and how you can add in a drone there. You can do the same thing with this F major scale by adding in your third string open if you are so inclined. For instance, I'm going to take just the first version of the F scale I have there, and I'm going to play my first fret with my pointer finger, and then I'm going to play my third string open. Okay. I'm going to sit there for a little bit and get the feel of that. I'm rocking back and forth with my thumb and my pointer finger. You don't have to. You could use just your thumb if you want. Okay, and when I'm ready, I'm going to go to my third fret on that second string. So I'm slowly, ever so slowly, going to play through that scale. Now I'm going to go to my first string open and still going back and forth with that, just the third string open. The next one might sound a little clashy. Get ready. First fret. Nope, I like it. First fret and still that third string open. You guys ready? We're going to go to that third fret now. Here we go. Third fret. It's kind of a fun way to play a scale, hey? Okay, fifth fret. A little tense sounding there, hey? Okay, let's hit the seventh fret. And eighth fret. It's so pretty. So play around with that. I'm going to put in some opens in there just as a, so it's recorded, and what a fun way to play with a scale. So I'm just going back and forth. When I was doing that, just rocking back and forth with my pointer and my thumb. Like that, all the way through. Kind of pinchy because I'm adding it on after the fact, but there we go. There. That looks almost like I intended to do that rather than just thinking about it right now, but it's one of those things where it's good to practice a scale, but it's good to practice your finger picking at the same time, right? And move around a little differently. So why not combine it? You can do the same thing with that one too, but I thought if I write it all down, it's going to become just a big fat mess on that whiteboard. So I'm going to take a minute, have a sip of coffee, and while I'm doing that, I want you guys to play around with these scales, playing them and adding in that third string open. And I just put a little hi in the YouTube chat there because I'm not sure who's watching that over there, but hello. So once you guys have had a few minutes to play around with that, let me know what you used for your fingering, because everything is good to use as long as it feels like a smooth back and forth between the two. You're good to go. So just show me your hands when you're done so that I know what you did. Yeah, nice. Okay, working the whoop, there we go. Working the thumb and the pointer finger. It's a good feeling, isn't it? Just rocking back and forth. Yeah, it's cool. Now I'm okay. click a few little buttons here and see if I can change my screen, but oh well. All right, so we got to play some Somewhere Over the Rainbow now. Let's get on my screen. I've got level 1.5 ready to go. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to play it without sharing my screen, and then I'll share my screen and play it again. So first time through, a lot of people have their copy of music already, right? If you don't, then now's a perfect time for you to just sit and listen to the sounds, okay? I know that one of the things that Julie had talked about last week was the rolled chords I do. So I'll probably throw in a couple of rolled chords in there, but you know how I am, like I'm not going to play it the same way every time, right? All right, here we go. So Summer of the Rainbow, level 1.5. There's all that F major scale right there, hey? Special F. And a pinch there. Whoa. Okay, back to the first line. I get pretty flexible with my timing on this. I say just paint a picture, right? I think I talked about that last week. Third line. I'm doing finger alternations there, but you don't have to, okay? Because I know that can be tricky to do at first. You can do it all with thumb and one finger. Under the G minor 7, C7. And this is where I like to take that C7 chord up high, right? So that time there for the ending, I just hit the very beginning of my F major scale. I didn't even do the full chord. I just hit the very beginning. Something that I wanted to do playing through at that time was to demonstrate the strumming straight down rather than like that. So I tried to do that a fair amount in there. What I'm going to do now is share my screen and play it again. Now you guys see the sheet music there, right? Give me a nod if I've shared the right screen. Thank you so much. All right, so something that I did, probably not the best job I've ever done, but line 5, the special F at the end, I strummed it with my thumb straight down, and then I plucked the strings 2, 3, 4. So maybe try that. Special F, 2, 3, 4. Okay, so the timing is very free there, just like, I don't know, like rain, just drip dropping down. So I'm going to play it again, and this time I'm going to try to be good and be pretty metrical with it so it's easier to follow me. Let me know how you guys have been doing with it, what sort of questions you might have, all that sort of stuff, okay? But here we go at the very beginning there where the repeat marker is. So we will be doing just before I start here, first ending is at the end of the second line. And after that first ending, where I've got my C7 with my wiggle, which just says you can do what you want with that C7, I go back to the beginning of the first line and I play until I get to the first ending, and then because I've already played that, I skip over to my second ending, just as a quick review for everyone. All right, here we go. 1, 2, 3, 4. Up to your 8. Next bar where we've got the 1 and the 5, special F, 1, 2, 3, 4. Next line, 1, 2, 3, 4, F chord, 1, 3, 0, 1. Next bar with a pinch, 3, 0, 1, 3, 0, first ending, F, C7 if you feel like it. Back to the beginning, here we go, 1 and open. Up to 8, 7 with a little strum of those opens. 1, up to 5, special F, 2, 3, 4, next line, 2, 1, get ready for your F chord, 1, 3, 0, 1, 3, and open with a pinch. Here comes the second ending, just with your, okay, third line, 3, now we're going to do a little pinch with 1 and open. Now 1 and 4 string open, third string open, 5, 5. Okay, now that's C7. I don't have a note written about that on there, but that's the one that I want you guys to play up on the fingering would be, or frets would be 0, 7, 6, 7. So it looks like your G7, but with your pointer finger on the 6th fret. Okay, here we go on that C7. 1, 2, 3, all that prep work, and now boom, we're back down to the 3rd fret on the 4th line. G sharp diminished 7 with the 2, 5. Okay, now 7 and open. 2, 3, 4, and that's the next part where I hit the 10. I usually just play it open or by itself. 5. Okay, now we're on line 5. Up to your 8. Little strum there with a 7 in the opens. 1, 5, special F. 2, 3, 4, B flat on the next line. Under the F with the 2 opens there. D7. And 1 on the 2nd string. Next line with the 3rd fret. With the 4th string open, 3rd string open. If you can hit the 2 8s together, super awesome. F down at the bottom is a strum if you want. Single note F. You have the freedom to choose. Now, when I hit the 2 8s together, I don't know if you guys heard that tone, but what I did, hear that? Like, it sounds quite light. And what I did was I strummed gently way up, right up on the neck is what I did. Now I'm just going to stop sharing. I see a chat and I just want to dig in and see what's cooking here. Da, da, da. Okay, so from Shirley, I discovered that I could play the B flat in line 2, bar 2 at the 4th string, or 3rd fret 3, easier than it's written. Absolutely. Right? So the B flat, so what are you doing there? You've got the D. Whoopsie. Can you show me with your hands where you're playing that, Shirley? Yeah, I know, right? Squeeze up next to that screen. Let's check it all out.
Sorry, I can just slide from the D7 to there. But I realize it's in level 2 when we're playing the D7 chord.
Yeah, yeah.
Otherwise, I have to go and then pop down there to get it. Yep. And I just slide really easily. So
that's awesome.
And that was so cool to find that out.
Yeah. This is the thing. I mean, this song, it's a framework, but it's also part of it's just discovery, you know, just to see what you can do. I want to point out something on the sheet as you're thinking about things for movement, just as Shirley's talking about with that B flat. I had something in mind I wanted to talk with you about too with that B flat. Mine stays down in the open level though. But check this out. I'm going to share the screen again. Okay. So you guys see line 2, where the B flat is with the 2nd fret and the 1st fret. Okay. Take a look at that F chord. All you've got to do is lay out your fingers 2 and 1. And then just lift them up and bunny hop them up one string. And that is sometimes those sorts of things you think, oh, well, that's really obvious. Why didn't I see that before? You know, it's just one of those things where sometimes you notice it and away you go, right? Now, what I'd like to know is, has anybody, you know, felt comfortable enough that they're able to fiddle around with the chords with the wiggles underneath them, try some sort of little picky pattern or anything? Or how's that been going? Any challenges, any observations? Absolute silence is okay too. It just means I'm going to push on to level 2. All right, silence it is. Okay, so I'm going to stop sharing this and then just click on to the next one here. There it is. Okay. Okay, here we are, level 2. Looks kind of busy, but really not that bad, you know? All right, so I'm going to play through it, and I'm going to try to be good and just play it as written and not add anything. It sounds bad that I have to preface it by saying that, right? But I'm going to be I'm going to be good. I'm not going to add flourishes. All right, and I'm going to play it pretty slow. 1, 2, 3, and 4. First part there. A little bit of that F. 8th fret. Okay, now 7 with the opens. I'm going to go slower, actually. I'm going to go like 1. See, 3 and 4. And that'll be better. 1 and 2. And up to that 8th fret. 3 and 4 and 7 with the opens. 3, 5, 7 with the opens. 8. Okay, now that little chunk, that B flat. And 2 and 5th fret. Here comes the special F. 1 and 2 and 3 and 4. And next line, 2, B flat, whatever you get of that B flat. Oh, it sounds so lush. F. And 1, 3, D7. Okay, a little chunkier G. My fancy C7 there where it's 303. Open, first ending for F. 1 and C7, and 4, and to the beginning, F, and 8th fret, 4, and 7 with the opens, whoops, B flat, 2, and 5th fret, special F at the end of that first line, and 2, and 3, 4, and next line, 1, and 2, and B flat, and 4, and F, 1, and D7, 4, and second ending, 1, 2, and 3, and third line, F. Pinching with a 1 and 3. C7. F6. So that's where we're all 5s up on strings 1, 2, and 3. 1 and 2, and again 3 and 4, and C7 up on your 6th fret. 1 and 2 and 3, and line 4, back with that F chord, 3 and 4, and G sharp diminished 7th. Wow, look at that critter. How are you guys doing with that chord shape there? Yeah, right on. Because it's kind of like your E minor. If you start looking at it, instead of 2, 3, 4, it's 2, 4, 5. So you just got to stretch a little bit. Here, I'll start again. 3 and 4, and on that G sharp. Now G6, so we're up on the 7th fret, and 2, and 3, and 4, and 10th fret, 2, and 5th fret, 4, and next line, F, and 2, and 8th fret, 4, and 7 with the opens, 3, 5, 7 with the opens, 8, B flat, 1, and 2, and 5th fret, 4, and special F, 1, and 2, and 3, and 4, and next line B flat, and 2, and B flat chord, and 4, and F, 1, 3, D7, 1, G chord, 1, F at the end of that line, 1, and 2, and 3, and next line, O3, O3, G minor 7, and 4, and now 3 with the opens, 5 and 6 if you can swing that, 7 and 8, now 8 and 8, 4, and then whatever you feel like doing at the end, single note F, F chord, leave it with the 2 8s, whatever strikes your fancy. Okay. Now there's going to be parts in there where you're like, oh, I'm not ready for that. And other parts where you're like, oh, okay, I got that. So when I'm sitting and playing all this, don't feel like, oh my gosh, I got to play everything the way Tina does. Well, don't worry about that, because I don't even play it the same way twice. So, you know, just play, pick out what you want to add into your level 1 or 1.5, right? Just like I think I was talking about it in the guitar lesson yesterday, where it's almost like little recipe cards or something. Like each beat has a little spot of stuff on it. You can decide what you want to add into that, or remove what you don't like. It's a buffet. Just start walking up and down the line, grab what you want from the buffet. Ah, so good. Okay, now I'm going to play it, and I'm going to add extra stuff from my own personal buffet, so you guys get ready. I'm going to stretch my little fingies. After this, I have, it's going to be like a piece of candy for you guys, what I've got next. Got to show you some of the stretches and whatnot I do too. I think it would be good. All right, here we go. I'll get all fancy here. Oh, do you guys want me to stop sharing the screen so you can watch my hands, or do you want the screen up like a read-along adventure? Hands? Got a couple votes for hands. Okay, I'm going to stop sharing. There. Okay, you can watch my little hands as I get all busy. There we go. No, that's not how I wanted to start it. Let me think here. Sometimes you'll hear me add in extra bass notes. That's what I'm really doing a lot of. Like when I go up to the 8, I might hit my 3rd string open there too. That there, I'm hitting that at the end of the 3rd bar of the 1st line. So see how it looks like my G? It's a B flat chord. G, G sharp, A sharp, A sharp and B flat are the same thing, so that's why I'm up there. Okay, so I'm going to do, I'll start at the beginning of that 1st line and then I'll hit the 2nd ending. Here comes that G chord on the 5th fret, right, to make the B flat. Moving my tone. I usually move closer to the bridge when I hit those 5s. Okay. Oh, whoa, that was bad. Hang on, 5, 5, and then my C7. Let that 10 ring out. Glissando, crazy with the glissando, right? Oh, sorry. Worst performance ever. But guess what? Nothing bad happened, right? And something good. I mean, I'm kind of mortified because I'm like, I'm glad that I'm an example of how it's okay to make a mistake. I feel like my face is turning bright red because that was like worse than normal. You know what? If I went home and, or well, I guess I am home. If I left my little cave of instruments here and I was all horrified and beat myself up for hitting some boo boos, how good is that for me? Right? It doesn't do anybody any good. So, right? Julie knows. She's just laughing. It's good, right? Cheers! Cheers to making mistakes and surviving. Hey, oh
It goes to show that even good players make mistakes.
yeah! We're all right. Yes, that's right. I did all that on purpose to demonstrate that. Yeah. Actually, but here's the thing though, I'm fine with making mistakes. I mean, really, wouldn't it be nice if everyone had a perfect performance all the time? But we're all human, right? We're not machines. You know, when I was in college for music, I would say my playing when I first got in there was really fast on my classical guitar, really fast, really precise, and kind of cold, kind of bland. So I had to work really hard to add in some squeaks into my playing. That took me months because I was so used to playing without anything like that to give it a little bit of an edge. That was hard. But it was the, I'm going to write down the name in the chat that, oh yeah, strong finish. That's right. I totally had a strong finish, right? That's all you guys will remember. The ending, yeah. Villalobos was the composer that got me thinking about adding some rough sounds into my playing. He's just going to write down that name. It's kind of contemporary Brazilian street music on his guitar. It was just amazing. And that's what got me thinking about playing differently. So, you know, these different instruments, these different performers, they have a big impact on you. Now, I'm going to pull up this other thing. And it's, you know what it is? It's just the beginning of Stairway to Heaven. I don't know if anyone's played Stairway to Heaven on their ukulele or not. You don't need that many chords. We're not going to be reading tablature. We're just going to read chord charts. That's it. I was going to write it right down here on the whiteboard, but the first thing I want to do is we'll just go through the chords. Like I say, it's going to be like a piece of candy for you guys. So check this out. Okay, so A minor is your first chord. So what I want you guys to do now is just strum your A minor. Okay, just get the feel of that. And then from there, going to our E7. Okay, and I'll draw out these chord charts too on the whiteboard and all that too. But just see if you can make your G7, you can make your E7. See that? See the comparison there? So here's my G7. Pointer finger just goes up to the 4th string to make my E7, okay? And then from there to my C chord. That's the next one I'm going to do. Then from there to my D. So nice. So 3 in a row for the D, right? And it's kind of a weird contortion. You got to get to the F for the next one. Just a regular F, not a special F. That one goes twice as long as the other chord, so I'm going to strum that one again. Okay. And then I'm going to go to my G, A minor, A minor. Okay. So that's the harmony of the song. Now I'll write down the chords on here. I'll write down the chord charts and all that as we go. And I have a PDF too that I'm going to put up on my website of this. It's so much fun. But like I say, it's just the very intro of it. But sometimes it's under the category if you don't know what you can play until you really start digging in. Okay, so A minor. Is that big enough for you to see? Yeah, okay. A minor and then E7. Anytime you guys are looking at chords and you're like, oh my gosh, I don't know, this chord's new, see what you can find in common with other chords. Okay, just like I said with that E7, it's a lot like the G7. It's just the pointer fingers moved, that's all. Okay, and then to C. Okay, and now we're going to run out of space. Okay. do this here. I want to talk you guys through the movement of the chord shapes before I dish out the PDF. All right, so D, you've got the 3 fingers in a row. I'm going to hold up my whiteboard so you can see what's going on with it. And so I can explain everything. And then F. And then G, A minor, A minor. Now these guys at the end, G, A minor, are plucked. You're going to pluck all your strings. 4, 3, 2, 1. You're going to go G, 1 pluck, and then A minor, pluck, pluck. Is the way that one's going to go. So that steps outside of the finger picking patterns that we're doing at the end. For a long time as a classical guitarist, I would not play Stairway to Heaven on my classical guitar. Oh, can't do that. That song's too. Everybody plays that. Until I was playing at a restaurant one night. This guy came up to me with a huge tip and said, "Can you play Stairway to Heaven?" And I had to tell him I couldn't. But I said, "If you come back the next night, I can play Stairway to Heaven for you." He came back the next night. I played that song for him. Boy, it was great. And then I realized one of the good things that came out of that was I thought, why am I being so snobby? For no good reason. Like, anyway, I wound up really enjoying the song. A lot. Okay, so I'm just going to hold this up here because my, there, okay. So what I'm going to do now is I'm going to tell you guys what strings to pluck. And you can do it all with 1 finger if you want, okay? But it's going to change per chord. That's the thing. So I'm going to write down underneath here, I'm going to write down the numbers you pluck. So make your A minor chord and pluck strings 4, 3, 2, 1. Okay, on that A minor, 4, 3, 2, 1. Picking pattern stays the same for the next 2 chords, and that's going to be strings 1, 2, 3, 1. 1, 2, 3, 1. 1, 2, 3, 1. Okay, so now I know I'm holding this and I can't play it for you right now, but I want you to just go with me to A minor, okay? Make your A minor and then pluck 4, 3, 2, 1. And then to your E7, keeping in mind if you're not sure about that chord, it's a lot like the G7. Okay, and then the E7 is going to be strings 1, 2, 3, 1. The C, 1, 2, 3, 1. The D, the picking pattern, I always forget it here, is 2, 3, 2, 1. Okay, so try that on the D. 2, 3, 2, 1. The F, it's extended. It's 4, 3, 2, 1, 2, 3, 4. Okay, I've got to make some room here. So F, 4, 3, 2, 1, 2, 3, 2. And hear how I'm letting that 1 ring out? Okay. So D is 2, 3, 2, 1. F, 4, 3, 2, 1, 2, 3, 4. So that line there takes a space of 1 beat. So bum, 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 bum. Okay. And then G, think of that full plant, right? Or strum, whichever. G, A minor, A minor. Okay. If you're comfortable with your slides, play your first string open and then do a little slide up to your 8th fret and then play 7. And then play the whole thing again. So I'm just going to hold this here for a second, then I'm going to play it for you guys, okay? Try it again. So you guys are sight reading this kind of, yeah, right? Got the screenshot, Ren? Because it's like crazy time here. I have a pretty PDF, but I want to make sure you guys know what's going on with this. Okay, so A minor, here we go again. Ready? 4, 3, 2, 1. Then to E7. 1, 2, 3, 1. Now to C. 1, 2, 3, 1. To D. 2, 3, 2, 1. To F. 4, 3, 2, 1. 2, 3, 4. Make your G and pluck or strum G and then right to A minor, A minor, A minor. And then you too can go to a restaurant, sit there, play some Stairway to Heaven. Someone will give you a tip. Good times. All right, now I'm going to play it for you guys. Oh, I did this thing. It's still taped on my music stand. Just going to hold up my music stand for you guys and show this to you. I took one of my studies. I was playing around with chance music, and I took one of my studies. Right? Oh, Julie watched it. And I cut it all up. I had so much fun doing that. And this is the boxes study that we've done before anyway in the fingerpicking group. But do it yourself. Get a study. Use the box study if you want. Cut everything up into little tiny pieces. And then just pull them out of a bowl. Or use a Google random number generator or whatever. So much fun. All right. Now I'm going to play Stairway to Heaven. And then I'll show you the PDF so that you can see everything that's cooking there. Okay. I'm going to add in an extra note now. I'm going to add in on my E7, C, and D. I'm going to pluck, do a pinch with my fourth string just on the first beat. Those extra numbers under the chords. Oh, you got it? Okay, good. That's why I wanted to show it on a whiteboard first, because now that I share the screen, it's going to look weird. All right. The screen share begins. Okay. So I've got my chords sitting there, right? The A minor. And it looks like this is just something going on with the chord shape because of the strings, the first set of strings you start with. That's why I wanted to walk you through it. Then the E7. See how there's a 4 written underneath the 1 to go along with that E7 chord? That's where you play strings 1 and 4 together. You don't have to hit the 4th string if you don't want to. Okay, that's just an extra thing you can do. So this is the whiteboard stuff, just looking pretty. This is from one of the workshops that I did last year, I think. And what I wanted to do in that one was to introduce how to read tablature. And you'll see when you look at the sheet right down at the bottom, here's how that same thing would look in tablature. So it was kind of a neat way for people to learn a song that they could read either just with chords and with numbers to indicate the string to pluck, or they could read the tablature. Because we focus just on the top part here, I would recommend you stay with just thinking about that. Now, my question though is, does it make sense? Because I'd be happy to sit and go through it and play it again and explain it. I'm going to play it one more time with that screen shared, and I'm just going to talk right through with everything I'm doing there. So on the A minor, I make my A minor chord. The strings I'm going to pluck with whatever finger or thumb I want. For 4, 3, 2, 1. And then I'm going to make my E7 chord shape. I'm not going to bother with that 4th string right now, so I'm just going to play strings 1, 2, 3, 1. So I'm taking the high road there. 2, 3, 1, and the same thing with the C chord that's coming up. 1, 2, 3, 1. Then the D chord picking pattern changes. 2, 3, 2, 1. And then I go to my F. 4, 3, 2, 1. 2, 3, 4. Next line now. I just plucked my G. I even wrote pluck underneath it. Pluck and then A minor. Pluck, pluck. 0, 8, 7. And if you're not comfy sliding, just hit the notes and let them ring out. Hear that? And then you play it again. Now I'm going to hit that 4th string this time. I'm going to pinch the 5th string and the 4th string together. Pinch, 2, 3, 1, C chord. Pinch, 2, 3, 1, D chord. Pinch 2 and 4. 3, 2, 1, and F. You just play it as written. 4, 3, 2, 1, 2, 3, 4. Now I'm going to do the plucking. G, A minor, and then I stop there. I'm going to stop sharing.
On the G, which strings are you plucking?
When I'm doing the pluck at the end,
The G, just the G, just before the A minor.
at the very end, I'm plucking them all.
Yeah. Oh, all. Okay. Thank you.
Yeah, oh yeah, no problem. Yeah, pluck them or strum them. Whichever way gets you there, whatever you want to do with it. The Led Zeppelin guys will just be happy that you're playing the song on the ukulele. They'll be like, you guys rock. It's 10 o'clock now, so what I'm going to do is start shutting things down. But